In the last period of time, people have become acutely aware of the principles of 369, a discovery attributed to Nikola Tesla, and people have been fascinated with torsion fields, and they have a relationship people are still working out, and the practical application of this relationship is still being worked out. But I was inspired with some information that had me working with the geometric forms as I came to find a important common denominator. Here you're looking and you see a two-dimensional representation of at least a five-dimensional system. This intricate assortment of circles, squares, and ellipses working together as a whole unit. All of these circles are spheres, all of these squares are cubes. In this system, you are looking at something that in its wholeness encompasses 369. But there's a trick. Instead of focusing on the numerology, I focused in on masculine and feminine forms. 3, 6, 9 have one thing in common that it also has in common with two other symbols in mathematics, in the way that they are formed. They have no straight lines, they have no hard edges. They are all curve, feminine energy, as opposed to 1, 2, 4, 5, and 7, masculine, straight lines, feminine, curved lines. Have you figured out which two numbers I'm thinking of? 8 and 0. You not only have the appreciation of the mathematics of 0, 3, 6, 9, but then you have 8, which is part of the infinite feedback loop, the 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8. But 8 is the one amongst the 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8 that is all feminine. This is your bridge, the Mobius strip. The Mobius strip is an infinite loop, but it also has an on-ramp and an off-ramp. This is understood when you interlink the 6 and the 9 by both their ring and their tails. And what is a 3? If you mirror the number 3 and merge it with itself, it becomes an 8. So that became the basis for this form that you are seeing as it runs across the vertical axis, with 1 across the vertical and horizontal axis as these pillars. You can look at this and make the allusions to Yggdrasil. And as you can see here, I have incorporated this system as such. The encompassing of the whole system is the figure 8, which keeps everything contained in the Mobius strip, as well as having that 0 coming from the ellipse that is created by the connection of the 6 and the 9. The primary circles of the 6 and the 9 forming the figure 8 are squared, to square the circle. This is the 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, and the 8. Primarily the 1, 2, 4, 5, 7 working in this accordance. Within these two spheres, the green in the center here at this double Vesica Pisces, the four-pointed flower petal, at that point we have the heart chakra. And you can see the color coordinations going from the heart chakra representing 8 to the 3 chakras above and the 3 chakras below. You'll notice a gap of space. This is the 0 point. Then it goes into the set of rings, forming the inverse as the energy wave goes from its high point into its next low point. And then they intersect with everything else, and as they overlay with each other, you will see through the network of cubes, you will begin to see the weird pop out of it, and all of a sudden that means rune forms. The white box and a black box. The white box is the ego, the black box is the unconscious. This layer shows us the internal principles going on between the 5 elements, with spirit rising and falling, as well as the yin and yang of fire and ice coming from what I will show you are representation of all 9 realms in Norse cosmology to fit this system. This is also about the spirit and which direction it flows. Does it flow towards the light? Does it flow towards the dark? There is no judgment here. The dark also encompasses the grounded and the earthly. Think of it as the dynamics between the Lover's card and the Devil card in tarot. What you're really looking at here is just basic principles. When you operate with the 5 elements, are you flipping the spirit? So we have the pentacle is on the bottom, showing that the object is to raise the torsion energy up from the underworld and bring it into the heavens. And furthermore, you're also bringing down from the heavens to the earth. And this is the proper, non-gaslit metaphysics that is occurring when your pentacle is a pentagram and when it is reversed. It's just about the elemental forces being pulled to earth. You have oils coming to the salts, salts coming to the oils in the alchemy of the situation. If you look carefully, as I've shown, we have the yin and the yang running through here. The fire and the water in mix. Both are flowing in the same direction. So you see how this works, where we have the 0 and the 1, and the 1 and the 0. The I Ching is the basis for binary code. So looking at this system, binary code is all 0 and 1. This is where I was able to extract certain determinations of what we are ultimately looking at. You have across the horizontal axis, 0 to the left, 1 to the right. These do have a partial relationship here to concepts of the right and left hand path, especially when you consider the squared circle and the pentagram are all representative of the Vitruvian Man, as known famously via the diagrams of Leonardo da Vinci. In hexagram 1, a dragon in waiting who comes and emerges. I have determined that we have our dragon, our 2 greatest forms of the dragon that works of our energy system. In our underworld is the Nidhogger, the worm who eats at the roots of Yggdrasil, which is sitting there, buried at the bottom of the unconscious. And then we have, crossing our horizontal plane, this is Jormungandr. Now, Nidhogger's enemy is the eagle, and I Ching 10 is Odin, and Odin does have a relationship to the eagle. That is because 10 both has aspects of the fool, the wise man, which including a story of a one-eyed man who can still see, but also about knowing when to strike and things of this nature, which is why we have Thor. So Thor and Odin sitting in our 10 spots along the upper world and the right-hand path, Nidhogger and Jormungandr. There are 2 versions of the Ouroboros that people are shown. There's the snake eating its own tail, and then 2 snakes eating their own tail. This is 2 snakes eating its own tail in this form, which I've liked, which also then, representing values of 3 in the realm, these inner cycles are our values of +3 and -3 in the 369 circuit. And then in similar relationships, Jotunheim and Vanaheim, Asgard to Helheim are the 9 and -9. And then Elfheim and Svartalfheim is 6 and -6, as you can see, demonstrated in this system. With this system, you can make a reference to the Thunderwheel Codex, which is familiar to my channel and all of my other social media links, which you can find in the description below. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. Take care.